पवन सुत हनुमान की जय। सियावर रामचंद्र की जय। विघ्नेश्वराय वरदाय सुरप्रियाय लंबोदराय सकलाय जगदिताय नागाननाय श्रुतियज्ञ विभूषिताय गौरीसुताय गणनाथ नमो नमस्ते। श्री राम राम रघुनंदन राम राम। श्री राम राम भरताग्रज राम राम। श्री राम राम रनकर कश राम राम। श्री राम राम शरणं भाव राम राम। अतुलित बलधामं हेमशैलावदेहं दनुजवन कृशाणुं ज्ञानिनां मृगगण्यं सकलगुणनिधानं वानराणामधीशं रघुपतिप्रियभक्तं वातजातं नमामि। श्रीरामचन्द्र कृपालु भज मन हरण भव भय दारुणं नव कंज लोचन कंज मुख कंज पद कंजारुणं। श्रीराम 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 श्रीराम। गंधर्प अगणित अमित छवि नव नील नीरज सुंदरम पट पीत मानहु तरित रुचि सुचि नौमि जनक सुतावरम। श्रीराम श्रीराम भजु दीन बंधु दिनेश दानव दैत्य वंशनि कंदनम रघुनंदयानंद कंद कौशल चंद दशरथ नंदनम। श्रीराम 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 श्रीराम। सिर मुकुट कुंडल तिलक चारुदार अंग विभूषणम आजानुभुज सर चाप धर संग्राम जित कर दूषणम। श्रीराम 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 श्रीराम। इति वदति तुलसीदास शंकर शेष मुनि मनरंजनम मम हृदय कंज निवास गुरु कामादिकल दलगंजनम। श्रीराम 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 बोले सियावर रामचंद्र भगवान की जय। ओम संकट मोचन हनुमान अष्टकम। Pray that Hanuman ji continue to bless all in our community with health and strength, and to give you the courage to overcome all of your challenges. बोले पवन सुत हनुमान की जय। बाल समय रवि भक्ष लियो तब तीन हु लोक भयो अंधियारो। ताहि सो त्रास भयो जग को यह संकट काहू सो जातन तारो। देवन आनी करी बिनती तब चार दियो रवि कष्ट निवारो। को नहीं जानत है जग में कपि संकट मोचन नाम तिहारो। संकट मोचन नाम तिहारो। बाली की त्रास कपीस बस गिरी। जात महाप्रभु पंथ निहारो। चौकी महामुनि साप दियो तब चाहिए कौन विचार विचारो। नैवेज रूप निभाए महाप्रभु सो तुम दास के शोक निवारो। को नहीं जानत है जग में कपि संकट मोचन नाम तिहारो। संकट मोचन नाम तिहारो। के संग रण गए सिय खोज कपीश चारो। जीवत न बची हो हम सो जो बिना सुधि लाए हा पग धारो। तेरी तके तत सिंधु सब तब लाए सिया सुधि प्राण उबारो। को नहीं जानत है जग में कपि संकट मोचन नाम तिहारो।
संकट मोचन नाम तिहारो।
रावण त्रास दई सिय को सब राक्षसी सो कहु शोक निवारो। ताहि समय हनुमान महाप्रभु जाए महाराज निचर मारो। चाहत सिया शोक सो आगी सो दे प्रभु मुद्रिका शोक निवारो। को नहीं जानत है जग में कपि संकट मोचन नाम तिहारो। संकट मोचन नाम तिहारो। रावण का तब सुत रावण मारो। लय गृह वैद्य सुषेण समेत तब गिरी द्रोण सो वीर आने सजीवन हाथ दई। तब लक्ष्मण के तुम प्राण उबारो। को नहीं जानत है जग में कपि संकट मोचन नाम तिहारो। संकट मोचन नाम तिहारो। रावण युद्ध अजान कियो तब, नाग की फांस सब सिर धारो। श्री रघुनाथ समेत सब दल, मोह भयो यह संकट भारो। आनी खगेश तब हनुमान, जो बंधन काटे सो त्रास निवारो। को नहीं जानत है जग में कपि, संकट मोचन नाम तिहारो। संकट मोचन नाम तिहारो। बंधु समेत जब यही रावण, लय रघुनाथ पाताल सिधारो। देव ही पूजी भई विधि सोबत, देहु सब मिली मंत्र विचारो। जाए सहाय भयो तब ही, अहि रावण सैन्य समेत संहारो। को नहीं जानत है जग में कपि, संकट मोचन नाम तिहारो। संकट मोचन
नाम तिहारो।
काज किए वर देवन के तुम, वीर महाप्रभु देख विचारो। कौन सो संकट मोर गरीब को, जो तुम सो नहीं जात है तारो। बेगी हरो हनुमान महाप्रभु, जो कछु संकट होए हमारो। को नहीं जानत है जग में कपि, संकट मोचन नाम
तिहारो।
संकट मोचन नाम
तिहारो।
ओ नाम तिहारो। नाम तिहारो। नाम तिहारो। नाम तिहारो। संकट मोचन नाम तिहारो।
संकट मोचन नाम तिहारो।
ओ संकट मोचन नाम तिहारो। लाल देह लाली लसै, अरुधर लाल लंगोर। वज्र देह दानो दलं, जय 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 कपिसूर। पवन सुत हनुमान की जय। बोले बजरंगबली भगवान की जय। श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम। श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम। श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम।
श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम।
श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम।
श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम।
ओ श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम।
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 सीताराम 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 सीताराम
सीताराम सीताराम सीताराम सीताराम
सीताराम सीताराम सीताराम सीताराम
सीताराम सीताराम सीताराम सीताराम
बोलो सीताराम 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 सीताराम
सीताराम सीताराम सीताराम सीताराम सीताराम सीताराम सीताराम सीताराम
ओ सीताराम 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 मंगल भवन मंगलहारी मंगल भवन मंगलहारी द्रवहु सो दशरथ अचर बिहारी द्रवहु सो दशरथ अचर बिहारी मंगल भवन मंगलहारी द्रवहु सो दशरथ अचर बिहारी द्रवहु सो दशरथ अचर
बिहारी
ओ द्रवहु सो दशरथ अचर बिहारी दशरथ अचर बिहारी सिया राम मैं सब जग जानी सिया राम मैं सब जग जानी करहु प्रणाम जोरी जुग पानी करहु प्रणाम जोरी जुग पानी श्री राम जय जय रामा
श्री राम जय जय राम
श्री राम जय जय राम श्री राम जय जय राम श्री राम जय जय राम श्री राम राम रघुनंदन राम राम श्री राम राम भरताग्रज राम राम श्री राम राम रनकर्कश राम राम श्री राम राम शरणं भव राम राम श्री रामचंद्र चरणो मनसा स्मरामि श्री रामचंद्र चरणो वचसा गृह्णामि श्री रामचंद्र चरणो शिरसा नमामि श्री रामचंद्र चरणो शरणं प्रपन्ना। बोले रामचंद्र भगवान की जय। रहस्य जोरी कर पति पगलागी, बोली बचन नीति रस पागी। कंत करश हरि सन परिहरहूँ, मोर कहा अति हितहिय धरहूँ। इस कथा सुंदरकांड में, this little excerpt this evening comes from Sunderkand of Ramcharitmanas. Last week we finished 5 sessions of Sunderkand, but you can take Sunderkand and read it in 5 lifetimes. Every Chaupai bring an extra story in our life and something that we should learn from. In this part of Sunderkand, Ravan, of course, as we know, the 10-headed Ravan, Dashanand, he was advised by many people to give up. Hanuman ji ne kaha tha ki Ravan, is krodh chhod do. Leave this anger, leave this pride, and give Mother Sita back. Sometimes in life we hold on to the things that we think are bringing us or will bring us happiness, only to find that those things that we hold on to are destroying our lives. They're destroying our lives. And that is why every day we have to give ourselves to Bhagwan, give ourselves to the Creator. We do not know in reality what is good and what is bad for us. It is just how it is. We do not know what is good and what is bad for us. Right? We hold on to a lot of things. We hold on to a lot of things physically and non-physical as well. We think that it is best for us. Well, Ravana thought that Mother Sita was best for him. He thought that Mother Sita will complement his life. But Ravan only wanted to satisfy his ego. He had so many queens. He had Mandodari as his head queen. Mandodari was his number 1 queen, and he had many others. But that was not enough for him. That was not enough for him. The question comes down into our lives. How many of the same thing is enough for us? Right? In Canada, you need a winter shoes, right? You need a shoes for the winter, and you need one for the summer. And perhaps a slippers or sandals. One for the winter, and one for the summer. 2-3 pairs maybe, depending on the weather. But how many shoes do we have? How many do we have? I'm not saying too many shoes is bad for you. Naturally, if you're going to work, you have to wear 1 shoes. If you're going to a social, you have to wear 1 shoes. But how many of the same thing is good for you, and how many of that is good for you? Right? How many purses will ever be good for us? How many jackets will ever be good for us? How many watches will ever be good for us? How many cars will ever be good for us? They are all doing the same thing. All of them are doing the same thing. So how many of the same thing is good for you? Once I had done an exercise in this temple. I don't know how long now. Obviously, I'm a victim of everything that you're a victim of. And so I like pens. So at work, when I used to work and you do a project or something, the boss will come and they can't give you, because of the work I did, you cannot give cash or anything like that. So they bring a pen, put in your pocket and say, good job, or whatever it was. So eventually I have a whole stack of pens. So one day I brought all the pens here. And I brought a pen, I held them up in my hands like this. And I had pens starting from 75 cents, $1.75. How much for a Muji? $1.95 maybe, less than $2. Then you have the $70, then they have the $100, and different kind of pen. Up to a pen cost $700. So I had all of them in my hand here. I held it up and I said, all these pens from $1, from 75 cents to maybe $600-700. All of them were different price. What is the difference between them? All of them are doing the same job. One is black ink, one is blue ink, or whatever it is. All of them are doing the same job. In many cases, a pen that was 75 cents to $2 wrote way better and was way more functional than the one worth hundreds of dollars. And there are pens that are worth thousands of dollars. Just to have it like this and hold it in your hand and, point around like this for people to see that you have a Mont Blanc pen with you, put in your pocket and it has a white top, right? It's prestige. But there you go, you have 10 pens in your hand. How many do you need to do the same job, right? How many do you need? And we can go on and on. Ravan had so many wives. How many do you really need to live a life? Dharma Patni is the one that, the wife in our Dharma. Dharma Patni is the one that helps us or complement our life to embrace our Dharma in a better way. That's supposed to be the function of it. But Ravana had Mandodari already, he had many other queens, but he still want Mother Sita because obviously they're not enough for him. So when he captured Mother Sita and all this thing happened in Lanka, Hanumanji came and all of that. And Hanumanji burned down Lanka and went back to Ram Bhagwan. Mandodari went to Ravan. और मंदोदरी ने कहा था कि वह एकांत में हाथ जोकर पति रावण के चरणों में लगी और नीति रस में डूबी वाणी बोली. She went to her husband Ravan and she clasped her hands. कि हे प्रियतम श्री हरि से विरोध छोड़ दीजिए. मेरे कहने को अत्यंत ही हितकर जानकर हृदय में धारण कीजिए. He says, my Lord, please. Her words were so gentle and appealing. My Lord, avoid all fights with Shri Hari. With Shri Hari, which means Shri Ram, Shri Narayana. My Lord, avoid all fights with Shri Hari. She didn't say avoid fighting with Ram. Shri Hari. She knew that this was Narayan Bhagwan. She knew that this was Ram Bhagwan. This is no ordinary person. And she says, Ravan, my Lord, avoid all fights with Ram Bhagwan. Take my words to your heart as an advice, as a salutary advice. Samujat jasu dut kahi karni Sravahi dhar garbh rajni char dharani Ta sunari nij sachiv bolai Patvahu kant jo chahu bhalai Tab kul kamal vipin dukhdai Sita Sita Nisa Samai. My Lord, if you seek your own well-being, Ravan, call one of your ministers and send back Sita. Send back Sita. Call one of your ministers and send back Sita to Sri Ram. The very thought of Ram Bhagwan, the very thought of Bhagwan Ram, of course, brings peace to one's life. Send Sita back. Just as a frosty night spells doom for the bed of lotuses. Just as a frosty night spells doom for the bed of lotuses, so has Sita come here as a bane to your race. She has come to destroy your race, Ravana. Listen, unless you return Sita, not even Shiva, Brahma or anybody can be good to you. Nobody can save you. Lord Ram's arrows are like a swarm of serpents, Ravan, while the demon is like a frog. Serpent and frog, who wins there. Therefore, give up this frog behavior and embrace the Lord. Ravan heard the word of his wife, and like many, he ignored the word of his wife. So his wife gave him the advice, and sometimes in a relationship, any relationship, husband, wife, partner, brother and sister, doesn't matter. In any relationship, isn't it best that we listen to each other? Right? It's best that we listen to each other. Regardless of what relationship you have, if you're a boss and you have an employee, nothing is wrong. I had a boss who, he always says, I will always employ people that are more intelligent than me, than him. And obviously, if you employ people that are more intelligent than you, they will help you shine, right? They will help you grow. They will help your department progress, and which means you'll progress. Don't we have to talk with people or have discussions? But if we take the stand that we only can give advice and not receive any, that is not, of course, a way or a path forward that we must take. Ravan, when he heard these words, he laughed at his wife because he feels that only him can give advice and nobody else. And let's sing this final two lines of this chaupai. Shravana suni sat takari vani. Shravana suni sat takari vani. Bihasa jagat vidit abhimani. Ram Siya Ram Siya Ram Jai Jai Ram. Ram Siya Ram
Siya Ram Jai Jai Ram.
O sabhay subhav nari kar sacha. Sabhay subhav nari kar sacha. Mangal mahu bhai man ati kacha. Ram Siya Ram Jai Jai Ram. Ram Siya Ram
Siya Ram Jai Jai Ram.
Oh Siya Ram Jai Jai Ram. Siya Ram Jai Jai Ram. Shravana suni satata karivani bihasa jagat vidit abhimani. When Ravan heard the advice from his wife, the foolish Ravan, of course, who was known all over the world for his haughtiness, very haughty person, right? Haughtiness. When he heard Mandodari's, of course, advice, he roared with laughter. Vidit abhimani. He roared with laughter. An egoistic person will never hear, even when God is talking to them. When you're haughty, you're always angry, and you have this way with you that, you can't listen to anybody else. Even when God is speaking to you, you will never listen. God has come. Na jaane kis roop mein Narayan mil jaye. Once there was a big flood, and the flood was so big that water rise to the level of their homes. A lot of people died and so on. And this man went up to his roof and he prayed to God, God, please send me help. Save me, save me. Do not let me die. So he prayed and he prayed. He was a devotee of the Lord. So he prayed and prayed, God, save me, don't let me die. So he's waiting for God now to come, Maybe Bhagwan Shivji come with Nandi and the bull, and grab him and thing. Or he was waiting for Durga Ma to ride a lion. Or is he waiting Hanumanji to come, flying with his gada? Or is he waiting Prabhu Ram to come shoot an arrow and the arrow going to take him up or something? So he's waiting for God to come. He prayed already. Or maybe he had another God. I don't know what his God looked like. I know what my God looked like. So then God is not coming, but there came an helicopter. Helicopter announced, hey, man, we're throwing down a rope for you to pull you out and take you out of the way. Let's go. Come on. They threw down the rope. He said, no, go away. We don't want you. I have faith in my Lord, and my Lord is going to come and save me. Helicopter man said, you need to make up your mind because, we have other people to go pick up. He said, no. Bhagwan, I asked Bhagwan to come, and I know that my Lord is coming. Man said, okay, you wait for Bhagwan. People gone. The helicopter people gone. And so the water level rose, and he died. He drowned and he died. So then he go up to the heavens, and he was very angry. Can you imagine an angry person in the heavens? So he said, God, I'm so very angry. The Lord says, why are you very angry? He said, all my life I served you. And one time I was in distress, I called upon you, you never came. I have so much faith in you. You never came. Right? The Lord said, what do you mean I didn't come? So remember, water came up. I called for you, you come. Some helicopter man came, and maybe I should pray to them. So what's the problem? So God says, this is a problem. All of us are looking for God to see a physical walking form of God. You have to remember, when we go deep into the Hindu philosophy, there is one word called Brahman. Not Brahman, Brahman. Brahman means the absolute form, the formless. Brahman means the formless. The absolute formless form of God means he has no form. He has no color. He has no looks. He is Brahman. Right? But then God thought about it. Imagine if I tell you, close your eyes and think about Brahman. You don't know what is that. Close your eyes and think about Brahman. Meditate upon Brahman. We won't know what that is because that is formless. It's not something you can think about. When you close your eyes, it's not something you can meditate upon. It's not something you can make a connection with. It's not something that you can speak to. So what happened? Brahman, the absolute, formless God, then sent these forms so that we can connect with them. Right? I always tell you about this ball of fire burning right up. You don't see it. And in this ball of fire, there is a fire of light, a fire of wealth, a fire of education, a fire of protection, a fire of sweetness, Krishna. There's a fire of Hanuman, strength. It's all there. So from that Brahman came all these forms for us to then say, okay, now we can connect with someone. We can connect with some form, right? Otherwise, we wouldn't know what it is. A lot of people, one time I went to a session, and the Panditji was leading some people in something called guided meditation. It's a beautiful thing. Close your eyes, and let's now transcend our minds now to the Ganga. You're taking a bath in the Ganga. So imagine people who never went to the Ganga. The farthest they went to Ganga is Borbish River maybe, or Ezekubo River. They don't went to Ganga. Or a pool. That's all they don't know about Ganga. You have to go and experience it. So similarly, you have to experience the form of Brahman. Right? The form. These are the manifestations of the formless to make it easy for us. So when Bhagavan says, this is your problem, you are waiting for me to come in a form to save you from the rising water. But everyone, when you look at it, Siya Ram main sab jag jani, Tulsidas ji says, when I look into every form of creation, I see God in them. So you should have seen God in those people who came to save you, because although I don't come in this form, I come in a form of help, or a form to help, right? God comes in many forms. Our God is not a messenger. Our Bhagwan is not a servant. The Lord is Paramatma. And just don't look to see the Lord in the form of Krishna coming. Maybe he will come, I don't know. But we must look at God as a savior in so many ways. In so many ways, right? Ravan, when the wife advised him of this, what did he do? He did not entertain her. He would not even listen to the advice of his wife. As I said, the haughty person, the angry person, the person with a lot of ego, they will not even recognize when God is speaking with them. इसलिए जो आवई मरकट कट कट कटाई जीव ही बिचारो निश्चर खाई. He said, if the monkeys come, Mandodari, the poor demons, they would have a feast on all the monkeys. Well, in that case, they should have had a feast with Hanuman. They should have had a feast with Hanuman when he came, but they can't. And so in this way, he did not listen to Mandodari, and then there was many, many people who spoke with Ravan. The message here this evening is that we are never too powerful to listen to someone. You don't have to do as they say, right? You don't have to do as everybody. If you have to do as everybody have to say, we'll be very busy doing a lot of things. But it is okay to respect those who are closest to you and give ear to them. And no matter who you have turned your back on in life, never turn your back against God. Never turn your back against God. Be angry with the Lord, it's okay. Be angry with the Lord. Be upset a little bit, with the Lord, but never ever turn your back against Bhagwan. It is whoever has turned their back against the Lord has, of course, paid the penalty for that. It is not like he's going to say, you don't like me, I'm going to punish you. But we are holding on to this source for help. This is the Bhagwan that will help us in life, that will dig us out of the pits. If we turn our back against the Lord, then what are we going to hold on to? Jai Jai Shri Hanuman. Bole Pawan Sutta Hanuman ki Jai. This Hanumanji Chalisa is dedicated to Mataji Rukmin Salikram. And there's a dedication, came in from Sabrina. Grandma is Benji Lakshmi's mother, who comes to our temple very often for many, many years, and she still comes. We want to wish her a happy birthday today and pray and ask that Bhagwanji bless her always and guide her and protect her. She's always a very quiet, a very charming, and a very peaceful lady who always brings that peaceful energy around with us. We want to wish her all the best on her special day and ask that Bhagwati Mata's blessings and Hanumanji's blessings always be with her. Happy birthday to you, Grandma, and I hope you're well, and we send you the blessings of Sri Hanumanji Maharaj wherever you are. Shri Guru Charan Saroj Raj Nij Man Mukur Sudhar Barno Raghuvar Bimal Jasu Jodayak Phalchari Buddhihin Tanujan Ke Sumiro Pavan Kumar Bal Buddhi Vidya Dehu Mohi Har Ho Kalesh Vikar Jai Hanuman Gyan Gun Sagar Jai Kapish Tino Lok Ram Dut Atunit Bal Dhaman अंजनी पुत्र पवन सुत महावीर विक्रम बजरंगी कुमत निवार सुमति के कंचन वरण विराज सुवेशा कानन कुंडल कुंचित हाथ भद्र और ध्वजा विराजे कान्हे मूंज जनेऊ
शंकर सुवन
केसरी नंदन तेज प्रताप महाजन विद्यावान गुणियति चातुर राम काज करिवे को प्रभु चरित सुनिवे को रसिया राम लखन सीता मन सूक्ष्म रूप धरि सियहि दिखावा भीम रूप धरि असुर संहारे रामचंद्र के काज सवारे लाई सजीवन लखन जियाए श्री रघुवीर हर्ष रघुपति की नहीं बहुत भराई तुम मम प्रिया भरत सम सहस वदन तुम्हारो यश गावे सनकादिक ब्रह्मादि मुनीसा नारद सारद सहित यम कुबेर दिगपाल जहाते कवि कोविद कही सके काल तुम पुकार सुग्रीव ही कीन्हा राम मिलाय राज पर तुमरो मंत्र विभीषण माना युग सहस्र योजन पर भानु लील्योताहि मधुर पल प्रभु मोद्रिका मेढ़ि मुख माही दुर्गम काज जगत के जेते सुगम अनुग्रह तुम्हारे देते राम दुआरे तुम रखवारे सब सुख लहै तुम्हारी शरणा तुम रक्षक काहू को आपन तेज सम्हारो आपे भूत पिशाच निकट नहीं आवे महावीर जब नाम सुना नासै रोग हरे सब पीरा जपत निरंतर हनुमत संकट से हनुमान छुड़ावे मन क्रम वचन ध्यान जो लावे सब पर जिनके काज सकल तुम और मनोरथ जो कोई लावे आसु अमित जीवन फल चारों युग परताप तुम्हारा है प्रसिद्धि जगत उजियारा साधु संत के तुम रखवारे असुर निकंदन राम दुलारे अष्ट सिद्धि अभिनव निधि के दाता,
असवर दीन जानकी माता,
राम रसायन तुम्हारे पासा, सदा रहो रघुपति के
दासा,
तुम्हारे भजन राम को भावे, जन्म जन्म के दुख
बिसरावे,
अंत काल रघुवरपुर जाहि, जहाँ जन्म हरि
भक्त कहाई,
और देवता चेतन धरहि, हनुमत से ही सर्व सुख
करहि,
संकट कटे मिटे सब पीरा, जो सुमिरे हनुमत बल
दे,
बोलो जय 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 हनुमान गोसाई, कृपा करो गुरुदेव की
नाहि,
जो शब्द बार पाठ कर कोई, छूट ही बंदी महासुख, जो यह पढ़े हनुमान चालीसा, होई सिद्धि साखी गौरी, तुलसीदास सदा हरि चेरा, की जय नाथ हृदय महादेव, की जय नाथ हृदय महादेवा, की जय नाथ
हृदय महादेवा,
पवन तनय संकट हरण, मंगल मूर्ति रूप, राम लखन सीता सहित, हृदय में बसहूँ सुरभूप सिया, भज रामचंद्र की जय, शरणम प्रभु। बोले पवन सुत हनुमान की जय। Happy birthday again to you, Mataji Rukmin Salikram, and hope you have a very special birthday today. We have, if you have prasad to offer to Hanumanji Maharaj, please go now to offer. Bhumika will sing a bhajan in the meantime. Next week, starting next week, we're going to start a discussion on Tuesdays on Naudha Bhakti, the 9 forms of devotion. And there's, of course, in Ramcharitmanas, 9 forms of devotion we will start. And we will show different devotees how they use that form of devotion to get to the Prabhu. So that's starting a new set of series of discussions starting next week, Tuesday.
काहे सुतल बाहो, काहे सुतल बाहो, मनवा जपले सीताराम सीताराम, सीताराम राम राम। काहे सुतल बाहो, काहे सुतल बाहो, मनवा जपले सीताराम सीताराम, सीताराम राम राम। मनवा जपले सीताराम सीताराम, सीताराम राम राम। मोर बे सब पंछी जागे जागे धरती माता, ओ जागे धरती माता। राम भजन बिन सुना जीवन, काहे जन्म
Please remember our Mother's Day dinner is on May 7th at the auditorium downstairs at 3 p.m. We're asking all of you to kindly come on out on that day to support our program. It's a $30 ticket that you pay to come in, and you enjoy a very quiet evening, a relaxing evening at the temple, just with people of the community in a very clean and respectful environment. May 7th, we have tickets available in the puja store. You can just reserve them anytime and come on out. And also remember that April 22nd is Radha Krishna Mandir's Bhakti Sangeet program. I'll be performing there along with some other panditjis and musicians. We have tickets for them as well. We ask you to please support the program. It is in a fundraising event for Radha Krishna Mandir, and we hope to see you there. Let's stand for Aarti, please.
आरती की जय हनुमान लला की, दुष्ट दलन रघुनाथ कला की। आरती की जय हनुमान लला की, दुष्ट दलन रघुनाथ कला की। आरती की जय
त्वमेव माता च पिता त्वमेव, त्वमेव बन्धुश्च सखा त्वमेव, त्वमेव विद्या द्रविणं त्वमेव, त्वमेव सर्वं मामदेव देव। कर्पूरगौरं करुणावतारम संसारसारम भोजगेन्द्रहारम सदा वसन्तं हृदयारविन्दे भवं भवानी सहितं नमामि। गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णु गुरुदेवो महेश्वरः गुरु साक्षात् परब्रह्म तस्मै श्री गुरुवे नमः। असतो मा सद्गमय तमसो मा ज्योतिर्गमय मृत्योर्मामृतं गमय। ओम शांति 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 हरि ओम। बोले गणपति भगवान की, पवन सुत हनुमान की, सियाभज रामचंद्र की जय। जगदम्बिका माता की जय। सत्य सनातन धर्म की जय। सबको जय जय सीताराम। जय सीताराम एवरीवन। शुभ रात्रि। हैव अ गुड नाइट।